What's going on, guys? I'm Jada Black. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Zac Stacy, ex-NFL player, who is currently behind bars for brutalizing his ex-girlfriend and mother of his child. Zac Stacy should not be a free man. I think that this guy would have taken this woman's life if he took it even further, because he did leave. But I think that Zac Stacy has destroyed his own reputation. He has destroyed his life. And I don't think a person like that should be on the streets. Somebody with that amount of anger and viciousness should not be allowed to walk the streets ever again, because I truly believe that he would only be made worse if he was able to get out of jail. I think he's right where he should be. People with this type of anger and this type of aggression, especially towards a woman that I assume, cared about and loved, this guy should not be free. This guy is exactly where he should be. And he did this in front of his child. He did not care about that child. He just cared about controlling that woman. And when he lost control of that woman, he decided to try to take back that control. And he ruined his life. He ruined everything that he'd ever worked for. And that's the decision that he made. And that's the decision that he's going to have to work through. And he's going to have to deal with in the long run. When you break up with a woman, you got to let her go. If she no longer wants to be with you, even if you have a child together, even though you may still have feelings for her, the best thing you can do is to let her go. Don't do what Zac Stacy did. Zac Stacy committed reputation suicide. He basically destroyed everything that he ever built in his life. All because he couldn't control his emotions, and he's putting his hands on his ex-girlfriend. And I have told people this, men and women, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. Now, I did the live stream. I'll put a link to the live stream. I thought it was an excellent live stream. I broke things down. I didn't get emotional. I wasn't sensitive. I never get emotional. I get hyped up. Now, there were some people that thought that I should have been angrier. But why would I get angry about strangers? Now, have the videos really annoyed me, pissed me off? Absolutely. But I can't make videos where I am screaming and yelling when I have seen a lot of bad videos over the years. And believe it or not, this video with Zac Stacy was not the worst video I've seen. One of the worst videos I've ever seen was of a guy who beat the crap out of his own mother. He was at least 260, 270. And his mother could weigh no more than 110 pounds. And he is just pounding on her. That was probably one of the worst videos I've ever seen. This one was bad. And I spoke about this, and I spoke about the Chad Wheeler situation, because there were people tweeting me trying to make it seem like I wasn't going to keep the same energy. Of course I'm going to keep the same energy. But the reason why I had showed a lot of passion in that situation with Chad Wheeler was because it was very underreported. The guy was an active football player. He put his girlfriend in the hospital. He rearranged her face. And nobody wanted to talk about it. I was one of the few people that actually spoke about it first. Now, in regards to Zac Stacy, we don't have all the details. But as I said in the live stream, I do want to hear why he would do this to this woman in front of his child. I think it's very egregious to do this in front of your child, because I don't think this was the first time. That's why she had cameras in there. Which begs the question, has she filed reports before? Has she gone to the police before? Because she had those cameras in there for a reason. She had those cameras, and it caught him doing what he did. And now he's never going to be able to live a normal life, especially as a public figure. He's already lost some sort of job or ambassadorship. But maybe he doesn't care. And I said in the live stream, all this guy has in his life right now is his 2020 Kia. And he had his Becky. And the Becky no longer wants him. And he got angry about that. A lot of these guys can't let these women go. And I've spoken about this. I tell these guys all the time, let these women go. Stop obsessing about this one woman. She's going to get with other men. You need to deal with that. There's nothing you can do. You chose her. Zac Stacy chose this woman. And yes, I still want to know why he would do this to her. Y'all may not like me saying it, but I want to know, because me, I'm a type of person, I like to learn. You know, I like to get inside the mind of a human being. I'm not going to watch a video and just draw the conclusion of it's a bad video, he's a bad guy, doesn't matter why he did it. It does matter, because there's a pattern of behavior. There's a pattern of behavior. He's been doing this for quite some time. You got to ask yourself, did she go and get help? Did she tell people? Why would he do this? Now, there were people in the comment section of my live stream reaching. They tried to say that I was justifying what he had done, which I never did. I never justify any of these guys putting their hands on women. I never have. I don't justify women putting their hands on men. You see, as a content creator, I've seen it from both sides. So you can't expect me to jump off the porch over one video. That's not how I'm wired. I'm wired differently. I take a logical approach, which is what you should do, instead of jumping to a conclusion off one video. Because if it was somebody that you know, you'd be the first one to defend them. See, I don't know these people. So the notion that I would be defending Zac Stacy, why? Because I didn't curse him out, a guy I don't know. I didn't go on an angry rant. I'm done with going on angry rants. I've stopped going on angry rants, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't go on angry rants anymore. I speak from a logical, mental perspective. There is a condition going on in our society where you have people who have been raised wrong. You have people who have grown up in households where they dealt with all types of abuses. Fatherlessness, abandonment, not really growing up with the right type of structure. Now, Zac Stacy had football to keep him structured. But once he was no longer a part of the NFL and he was no longer a regular football player, he was just a civilian. And he may not have adjusted to that properly. So I'm going to take that approach. If you want to get angry, you want to go to Florida to go fight him, you go do that. I take a different approach, because there are there are other videos out there that a lot of you probably haven't even seen of similar things like this. I've seen people do vicious things to each other just because the other person don't want to be with them anymore. And I've told these males, let these women go when you break up with them. There's no need whatsoever in staying in a relationship with somebody that's going to bring out the worst in you. She, whether unintentionally or intentionally, brings out the worst in him. That is a fact. That's why he did what he did on video. I'm not saying that she put hands on him. I'm not saying that she forced him to do that. He did that on his own. He made that choice, and he's going to have to pay for that choice. They're going to make an example out of him. The justice system will deal with Zac Stacy. When you look at these couples, look at Terrell Pryor. I've spoken about Terrell Pryor. He's a former NFL player. He's in a toxic relationship with his girlfriend. His girlfriend knifed him twice, and he almost lost his life. Then you fast forward to a year later, she's accusing him of putting his hands on her. Even though this man could have lost his life because of her and her emotions. So I see all these different stories. You can't expect me to just be overly mad or sensitive when I have seen tons of different videos and stories where people could have been lost forever due to the actions of a toxic partner. People got to think. It's clear that Zac Stacy should not have been with this woman. It's clear that Zac Stacy could not handle not being with this woman, and Zac Stacy destroyed his own reputation and might have destroyed his own life because he couldn't handle his emotions, because he couldn't handle that this woman no longer wants to be with him. And I think that a lot of stuff like this goes on in homes everywhere. Not a lot, but where you have these toxic relationships that get very physical. Very physical. And I mentioned this in the live stream. I said there's a chance that she doesn't follow through with the charges. There's a chance where she may not even testify against them. So while all these people are mad and angry, you better hope that she follows through on the things that she is alleging towards him, or what we all seen on video. Because I have seen women who get hands put on them by their boyfriends or husbands, and they end up taking those men back. They end up taking those men back. And what a lot of men got to understand is, if you are with a woman that brings out the worst in you, you need to let her go before she ends up, well, not what she did, for you end up destroying your reputation, destroying your livelihood, your relationship with your children, all because you can't control your emotions and you're with somebody that brings out the worst in you. Not saying it's always intentional. It could be unintentional. Maybe you have a person that really cares. Well, I'll say care. They may feel like they love somebody and they don't want to let that person go. You got to let that person go. You can't control them. They're going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. But the best thing a lot of men can do is, when you see signs of a toxic relationship, let that go. And then if that other person is highly aggressive towards you, then you build up receipts of this person doing things to you so that you have yourself covered. It's clear that this woman, Kristen, had everything covered to where she could show that this guy was doing things to her behind the scenes. Because again, nobody's really checking for Zac Stacy, so no one really knows what's going on, right? So that's why she had those cameras in there, to really document what he had been doing to her when nobody was around. Zac Stacy will be dealt with. I believe they're going to throw the book at him as much as possible. And I think that that video going viral did help. It really did. Now, all we can do is see how this thing plays itself out. Zac Stacy doesn't represent me. He doesn't represent other melanated men. And I feel like his actions are his and his alone. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to want to know why he did this. Because I'm the type of person that's going to want to know. Doesn't mean he's going to say it. He could just not say anything and feel like he's going to get out of this. But there's no getting out of this. That video is going to make sure he's behind bars for quite some time. So let me know in the comment section below, and let me know your thoughts.